Are you a beginner basketball player looking to improve your skills but overwhelmed and confused on where to start? Don't worry, I've got you covered with these 10 essential tips for beginner basketball players. Be sure to stick around to the end, as the last one's the most important. Tip number 1 is to not get overwhelmed and to focus on the basics. By the basics of basketball, I mean the fundamentals like your ball handling, your shooting, and your rebounding skills. Don't get so caught up in trying to do a complex basketball move, but instead worry about the basics. Tip number 2 is that the best way to improve your skills is to work on your skills.
Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
And as a beginner basketball player, I encourage you, just set aside 5 minutes a day to work on your ball handling, as this will work wonders for you, establishing that consistency that's going to lead you to long-term results. Tip number 3, don't forget about your weak hand. A lot of right-handed, left-handed basketball players focus just on their dominant hand. I want you to be worried about the other hand as well. So if you get 5 reps dribbling with your right hand, be sure to equally treat that left hand the same. And if you're playing in a game, try to get used to going to both sides. This is going to help you way down the line when you're able to go both directions. Tip number 4 is where I bring up consistency, and it's that development takes time. So although you're getting in your 5 minutes once a day, how are you getting that in over the course of a week? Try to get it in as consistent and often as you can. And the more you practice those basketball skills, the better they're going to become. Start to set some basketball goals way down the line and practice consistency. Tip number 5, learn the official rules of basketball. This will help you later when you're playing, pick up games with your family or friends. And I'll have a video on it coming very soon, but learn what's a travel and a carry in order to play basketball by its rules. Tip number 6, you need to play more basketball. I did this back when I was 12, 13 years old. I would go outside, shoot a ton of shots outside, and think that I'm magically going to be better at playing in a game. But turns out when you get into a game, there's a defender guarding you and trying to stop you from getting a bucket. So although we call these on-air workouts because we're practicing on air, get some experience playing with friends and having to make decisions in a game-like environment. As you start to play more basketball with your family and friends outside, you'll start to get more used to making those game-like reads, and it'll help you develop your basketball skills faster. Tip number 7, have a good warm-up. At the beginning of your basketball journey, it is super tempting to go right outside of the court and just get shots up right away. And while that's fun and that's great, it's important to get in a pregame warm-up or a stretch in order to warm your muscles and prime your body for exercise. Later down the line, you're going to be doing a lot more research into how to recover better as an athlete. And so start by a few simple stretches, whether that's for your hamstrings, or your quads, or you're opening up your chest, and just getting ready to play some basketball. Tip number 8 is to stay mentally tough. What I mean by this is having a positive mindset. You're going to start experiencing or playing against tougher and older players, but it's important to know there's always going to be someone better than you and somebody worse than you. So when you're playing up against those older players, just know that you're gaining experience and you can only get better by making mistakes. Learn from your failures and your mistakes to get better, and by staying mentally tough, you'll overcome more obstacles on the court. Tip number 9 is know when to rest. A lot of times we jump into the basketball action. We're practicing consistently, but we might be doing too much. Make sure you're taking 1 to 2 days off the basketball court every week or so. Maybe that's hanging out with friends and spending more time with family. While basketball is a really important game, it's important to have a life outside of the court too. Make sure you're ramping your intensity up and you're taking those crucial days off the court. Tip number 10 is that you should have fun. Basketball is a sport, and the main reason we play it is to have fun. So don't get so down on your mistakes or be discouraged when something is going wrong. Continue to play the sport, have a smile on your face, and enjoy the game, as it's going to bring some of the best memories of your life. For Josh Myler basketball bonus tip is to invest in the right gear. A lot of beginner basketball players feel like they have to go buy a shooting machine or train with a trainer every week. But it's important that just a ball, a hoop, and some patience will do a lot for your game. As a beginner player, remember to focus on the basics, practice consistently, and play with others. And for more basketball fundamental tip videos just like this, check out this video here.